Good evening. We're so glad you could join us for this very special ceremony to reveal the recipients.
I'm so sorry, Professor Walker. You've got some, I don't know how you've managed it, you've got some coloured lipstick on. We're able to remove that so people won't be able to take you seriously.
I don't know, how do I get rid of this? What do I do?
It should be a setting, I'm not sure. Are we able to?
Hold on, there's something here I can press. I'm not sure what it does actually. I'm not sure that's the right button. Hold on, I'm getting there. I think I've done it.
Closer, not quite.
Is that okay?
Fantastic. I think we can start the show.
Look, please, James, can you just cut that from the recording? I don't want to look ridiculous. Please, just cut that later on, please.
You have my word.
Okay, thanks, James. I trust you.
Good evening and welcome to the Epilepsy Research UK 30th Anniversary Award Ceremony. Please welcome your hosts, our very own Melon Sue, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Professor Matthew Walker, and Head of Research, Quiver Bennett.
Good evening. We're so glad you could join us for this very special ceremony to reveal the recipients of our 2021 Research Awards. Over the last year, the pandemic has impacted every aspect of our lives, from health, education, employment, to family and friends. We've endured restrictions and interruptions to our lives. The speed of the vaccine rollout in the UK has, however, shown what can be achieved when organisations, researchers, and the general public pull together. We are now, thankfully, looking forward to a degree of normality. But for people with epilepsy, the interruptions will continue.
For people with epilepsy, every day counts. Every study is a step forward in our understanding. Every collaboration is strengthening efforts against the devastation of epilepsy on adults and children. There has never been a better time to harness the recent unprecedented advances in science, medicine, and technology for the benefit of people affected by this condition.
And as always, none of these projects would be possible without you, our supporters, who really have dug deep this year to ensure that research into epilepsy continues. Tonight, we are celebrating the achievements of this incredibly powerful community, working together to achieve a life free from epilepsy. To tell you more about this year's awards, please welcome our Scientific Advisory Committee Chair, Professor Mike Cousin.
Good evening, and thank you, Matthew. I'm delighted to be here. Now, the COVID pandemic has made us realise and reevaluate how we fund research in epilepsy over the last 12 months. As soon as the pandemic started, we made two key decisions. The first one was to fund 3 Innovation in Healthcare Awards. And secondly, we've made funds available for researchers whose laboratories closed or where clinicians were redistributed to the front line. For the grant round itself, we figured that building capacity in the research environment would give the most benefit for people with epilepsy in the longer term. So therefore, we committed ourselves to doing 2 different things. The first one was to fund 2 EAR UK Emerging Leader Fellowship Awards. Now, these awards are specifically designed to retain promising early career researchers and catapult them into positions of authority and group leader positions. In addition to this, we also funded 2 doctoral training centres to fund researchers at the other end of this scale, to attract aspiring researchers into the field of epilepsy and to develop a workforce for the future. And pulling all this together within this grant round gives me great pleasure to announce that we've actually funded £1,250,000 worth of research this year. And what that means is that EAR UK is now funding 58 independent research projects across the globe with collaborations in Australia, Europe, and the USA. It finally just leaves me to thank a wholehearted thanks to the Scientific Advisory Committee and also Quiver for all of their hard work over the past 12 months.
Thank you, Mike. Now, without much further ado, let's meet this year's awardees. So Quiver, the golden envelopes, please.
You're the chair, Matthew. We sent them to you.
Oh dear, I'll text Maxine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have a postman at the moment. They gave him the sack.
That was a typical male joke, Matthew. Not helped by your delivery. Oh, here they are. Let's get on with the show.
Our first awards this evening are for 2 doctoral training centres.
I'm very pleased to announce that our first Doctoral Training Centre award goes to the University of Edinburgh. Let's hear from Edinburgh now. Professor Richard Chin and Professor Cathy Abbott, are you there?
I'm Professor Richard Chin and my colleague is Professor Cathy Abbott, and we are based at the University of Edinburgh. We are delighted to be awarded this Doctoral Training Centre grant from Epilepsy Research UK. Our research will focus on childhood onset epilepsies to determine their underlying mechanisms and on development of improved diagnostic methods. This research could have a huge impact since it could lead to novel treatments to improve outcomes of childhood onset epilepsies, whilst also allowing us to train and develop skilled epilepsy researchers. Our hope is that at least some of the graduates from the Doctoral Training Centre will ultimately become world leaders in the field. We would like to say a huge thank you to the supporters of Epilepsy Research UK for their tireless fundraising, and without whom this research would not be possible. Cathy?
Thank you. I would like to add my thanks to Epilepsy Research UK and their supporters for their fundraising, and to promise that we're going to do everything in our power to make this Doctoral Training Centre a success and to inspire the next generation of epilepsy researchers. At a personal level, I would like to thank my lovely family and the wonderful members of my lab, past and present, for their tireless work and for their friendship. And finally, I'd like to say a special thank you to the EEF 182 families, who know as well as anyone the consequences of childhood onset epilepsy and who support me so much. Thank you.
In ending, I would also like to thank my family, who are my sunshine, members of the Muir Maxwell Epilepsy Centre and my clinical colleagues for their support, my friends who put up with me, my favourite foodie places, they know who they are, and to BMF for helping me, especially during the lockdowns. Finally, most importantly, to children with epilepsy and their families, remember, you are not alone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, and congratulations, Richard and Cathy at the University of Edinburgh. Our second Doctoral Training Centre award goes to Newcastle University, and I believe we have Professor Andy Trevelyan on the line now.
Hello, my name's Andy Trevelyan, and I'm recording this short message to thank the supporters of Epilepsy Research UK for helping raise the money to fund a fantastic new initiative by the ER UK to support a programme of research in epilepsy, and specifically their first ever PhD studentship scheme. Behind me is one of the iconic landscapes of Britain. This is the view of the Tyne with the Tyne Bridge over which people run during the Great North Run. And here in Newcastle, we are going to be running this new PhD programme that will fund 6 students to do both a master's and a PhD over the course of 4 years. This will be funded, as I said, by Epilepsy Research UK, with additional funds also from Newcastle University and 2 industrial partners, Arvell and UNEEG, UNEEG. Newcastle's a fabulous place to live, as you can see and you've probably heard already. It's also a wonderful place for epilepsy research. We've got some fabulous people who will manage these projects, people with an international reputation in all manner of epilepsy research, from genetics to developing brand new techniques and technology for treating the condition with a particular expertise in computational approaches. And we're thrilled that Epilepsy Research has given us the honour of running one of these inaugural programmes. And so on behalf of myself and also my colleague, Dr. Rhys Thomas, who will co-lead this programme, we'd like to thank you all.
Well, a huge congratulations to Andy and Rhys and all those involved at Newcastle University. And next slide, please.
The Epilepsy Research UK and Young Epilepsy Fellowship Award.
Our next award tonight is the Epilepsy Research UK and Young Epilepsy Fellowship Award. This is the first research collaboration between our charities, and we're delighted to present this award to Dr. Tim Tierney.
I am incredibly excited and honoured to be awarded this fellowship from Epilepsy Research UK and Young Epilepsy. My research focuses on how we can use brain imaging technologies to better help plan brain surgery for young people with epilepsy. Specifically, I work with a technology called the optically pumped magnetometer, which measures the magnetic fields generated by your brain's activity. This technology can have a huge impact in the treatment of young people with epilepsy. It will allow for earlier and more accurate neurosurgical planning for individuals whose seizures are not well controlled by medication. This will lead to better long-term outcomes for young people with epilepsy and reduce the burden that seizures have on their everyday lives. Getting to this point where I can independently pursue my own research vision would not have been possible without many, many people. Primarily my postdoctoral supervisor, Gareth Barnes, but also my colleagues and friends at the Wellcome Centre for Human Neuroimaging, who encouraged, supported, and grilled me in the preparation of my application. I also want to thank my family, dogs included, who I would be nowhere in life without. But as I look to the future, I want to reiterate my thanks for Epilepsy Research UK and Young Epilepsy for believing in me and my vision. But perhaps most importantly, I want to thank all the young people with epilepsy who will participate in my research and ultimately help usher in a new generation of brain imaging technologies. From the bottom of my heart, Garth Níla Maithagh. Thank you.
Congratulations to Dr. Tierney. We now move on to the Epilepsy Research UK Emerging Leader Fellowship Award. Next slide, please.
The Emerging Leader Fellowship Award.
We are thrilled to announce that this year's Emerging Leader Fellow is Dr. Gareth Morris. Dr. Morris is unfortunately trapped in Dublin, but we're thrilled to have him via video link.
Hello, my name is Dr. Gareth Morris, and it is my utmost honour to accept this Epilepsy Research UK Emerging Leader Fellowship. This award will enable me to start my own research group based at University College London. My work will focus on developing gene therapies to create a dynamic new treatment for drug-resistant epilepsy, which switches itself on and off whenever it is needed. This work raises the hope of a permanent and lasting treatment for epilepsy without the side effects that are sometimes associated with anti-seizure treatments. First and foremost, I'd like to give thanks to ER UK and their supporters for this incredible opportunity, to Deliveroo for keeping me fed during the lockdown, and to Amazon for my new and incredibly overpriced gym equipment. On a more serious note, I'm hugely grateful for this opportunity from Epilepsy Research UK, and I hope to use it to make a real difference to the lives of people with epilepsy over the years to come. Thank you.
We spoke to the researchers who were awarded Innovations in Healthcare Urgent Research Awards earlier this year. Here's an update on each of their projects.
Thank you very much. I'm Marcus Roiber. I'm a professor of clinical neurology at the University of Sheffield. Dr. Joe Ford, my collaborator, and I are delighted to have received the Innovations in Healthcare Award from Epilepsy Research UK and Epilepsy Action, which will allow us to compare face-to-face and teleneurology clinic conversations between patients and neurologists. Since starting our research in February, we have screened several thousand research papers on the topic for a systematic review. We have obtained ethics approval for our study, and we have familiarized ourselves with previously recorded face-to-face encounters. We're hoping to start recording teleneurology encounters next month. Joe and I would like to say a big thank you to the fundraisers of Epilepsy Research UK and Epilepsy Action, without whom this work would not be possible. We also like to thank the whole epilepsy team in Sheffield who have been supporting us in our research. We'd like to thank our families. And last but not least, special thanks go to Lorelei, Rocky, Einstein and Zweistein, my chickens, who have kept us supplied with eggs throughout the application and research procedure. Thank you very much.
Hi, it's with great pleasure that I accept this award. My name is Rhys Thomas. I'm a consultant neurologist up here in Newcastle. I'm accepting on behalf of the big teams. That's Ella Akai, my consultant colleague here in Newcastle, Mustafa Sultan, who is a really talented medical student with video editing skills at his fingertips. It makes you sick. We've got great charitable partners who sued up actions. That's Sami Ashby, Jane Hanna. We've got the wit and wisdom of Rohit Shankar, an expert in SUDAP, and then an ace up our sleeve with the charismatic community cardiologist, Mike Norton. I think together we've got sufficient talent, expertise, and energy to be able to help to answer the questions that we've posed in our proposal. We're really excited to get started, and we're really grateful for all of you at Epilepsy Research UK for fundraising and for helping us to have this opportunity. Thank you so much.
My name is Professor Samir Zuberi and I'm based at the Royal Hospital for Children Glasgow and the University of Glasgow. On behalf of our research team from 16 NHS hospitals and universities, I'd like to say how delighted we are to have been awarded this Innovations in Healthcare Urgent Research Award from Epilepsy Research UK. This award will allow us to perform a detailed evaluation of the vCreate Neuro secure video transfer system, which our clinical team has developed in partnership with Ben Moore and his team from vCreate. The platform allows patients and their carers to send videos to their clinical teams to help diagnosis and management of epilepsy. Since being awarded this research funding last year, vCreate Neuro has grown, establishing in many other UK hospitals, and more than 2,500 people with epilepsy and their families have submitted almost 6,000 videos to the system. I would like to say a huge thank you to the support of Epilepsy Research UK for their tireless fundraising, and without whom this research would not be possible. I am really looking forward to joining many of you supermen and superwomen running the London Marathon for Epilepsy Research UK later this year.
The Lifeinterrupted Award. To introduce this year's winners, please welcome our very own Moira Rose, Chief Executive Maxine Smeaton.
So if I'm Moira Rose, James, does that make you David? I'm here tonight to announce the first ever A Lifeinterrupted Award that goes to Academy Films for their powerful interpretation of how epilepsy interrupts the lives of ordinary, extraordinary people. The films were written and directed by the incredibly talented Luke Davies. If you haven't seen them, please take a moment to watch how beautifully they portray the lives of two young people living with epilepsy and highlight the disruptive, interruptive nature of the condition. We're so thrilled with the films, but it's the feedback from people with epilepsy that has been quite overwhelming and at times humbling. To accept the award on behalf of Academy Films, here's their Managing Director, Maeve Riordan.
Wow. Thank you so much. We are absolutely honoured to be the first recipients of a Lifeinterrupted Award. Firstly, we want to congratulate Epilepsy Research UK for creating such a fantastic evening, and of course for all the hard work that they do. And also to congratulate the recipients of awards tonight whose hard work and dedication is actively making a difference in the lives of people living with epilepsy across the globe. I know I speak for the writer and director Luke, the producer Tom, and all at Academy in thanking Epilepsy Research UK for giving us the opportunity to make such a powerful film. With the constant support and guidance from Maxine and all the team at Epilepsy Research UK, Luke was given the freedom to create a film that was, we hope, both inspiring and challenging. It certainly pulled no punches. When we first received the brief, we knew that we needed to make something important, something that would stop people in their tracks to stand up and hopefully do something. And of course, through the hard graft of the teams that came together to make this, we have created a film that we at Academy are immensely proud of, and we hope you are too. We hope the film that we've made has made even the smallest difference in highlighting such an important cause. And we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for giving this opportunity to make this film. And so thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for this award, and we hope everyone has a fantastic evening.
Our final award of the evening is the Outstanding Contribution to Epilepsy Research Award, which this year I'm delighted to say goes to Jill and Gordon Parry. Our Chief Executive, Maxine, visited the long-standing supporters to learn about their story and their remarkable contribution to research into epilepsy.
Outstanding contribution to epilepsy research.
You've given so much to us, and actually bigger than that, to epilepsy research in general. So we just wanted to commemorate, you reaching such a huge milestone and for being such incredible supporters.
I'm meeting two lovely ladies.
Obviously that's your treat. So this is just
that. It says, Jill and Gordon, in recognition of your outstanding contribution to epilepsy research, May 2021.
Can't read English, you know.
I know. That's it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, well, now I'm lost for words now. I am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed. That is a pride of place.
Research really does bring hope to the many people who are living with this devastating condition. Every year, the lives of another 30,000 people are blighted by epilepsy. But research has and will continue to lead to faster and more accurate diagnosis, better treatments, and improved quality of life. We are fortunate in the UK to have some of the most talented clinicians and scientists dedicating their lives to improving the lives of people with epilepsy. And the UK continues to lead the world in epilepsy research. This success is down to those who have and continue to support epilepsy research. Thank you.
What a great night it's been. Thank you everyone for attending this event, and huge congratulations to all of our awardees. We'll be hearing more from our awardees at our Research Roundtable webinar this Thursday at 2 p.m. So please do join us then to hear more about this exciting research. So before we all head off to Elton's after party, there's just enough time to say a massive final thank you to the people who made all of today's research awards possible, our supporters. Thank you and good night.
Elton's throwing a party. Didn't invite me, maybe because last time I gave him a lettuce and I think he's a bit more of a rocket man. Quiva, when you're ready.
Oh,
when you're
right,
ready.
yeah. Sorry, Matthew. Sorry. Oh.
Down, Albus, down, down.
You ready to go, Matthew? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just need to get the dog under control. I'm not a horse.
Oh my God.
I'm not a horse.
Mom, I'm on Zoom to Professor Matthew Walker. Yep, I've got to go. Yep, I've put the wash on. Okay. Yep, only whites. Yep, okay. Bye, love you, bye. You're on mute, Matthew.
Thanks. I think that's a beer I owe you. How do I get rid of these lips? Can someone tell me how I get rid of these lips?